Hey guys, so today we're going to be trying some new makeup. I have accumulated like almost a full face, everything but kind of like base products. So I actually have some primer, I have some foundation down. Of course, everything will be listed down below in my description box if you're interested. I have the Kevyn Aucoin down, but we're going to start with like powder and move on from there. So just to give you a quick kind of rundown of what we're going to be talking about, I have the Dior Skin Mineral Nude Natural Matte Perfecting Powder. I have it in the shade, I'm just showing you the compact. Here we go. I have the shade 02, so we're gonna be setting my makeup with this. I also have the new Hourglass Ambient Infinity Powder. So we're gonna be playing around with this. We're gonna try it as setting powder, but I have a feeling I'm gonna like it as finishing powder more. So we're gonna be playing around with that. I also have a new mascara from Grande Cosmetics. It's their Grande Mascara. I actually don't know if this is a new mascara. I take that back. It's new to me, but it's their Conditioning Peptide Mascara, and I have it in the shade Noir Intense. So we'll be putting that on, and we'll also be playing around with the NARS Orgasm X products. So I have 3 of their like small eyeshadow palettes, and we'll just kind of like mix and match and like figure out a look between those 3. And then I also have their face palette, which has 2 blushes and a highlight. This highlight is gorgeous. So we're going to be using that. And my good friend Jen over at Jen Loves Reviews, she did a collaboration with Ofra and came out with 3 new liquid lipstick shades. These are meant to help you transform lipstick colors that you already have in your collection that maybe are a little bit off. These will, deepen them up, lighten them up, cool them down. They're meant to help like transform colors. But I will just say, I love these shades all on their own, especially the 2 deeper ones. I really, really love this one. And this one is, well, it's almost the same color as my nail polish. So I love it. They're very, very grungy, which I love. So we're going to be playing around with those. And we are also going to be playing around with 2 new Chickaholder brushes. So they just came out with these. I forget the name of them. I'll have everything listed down below in my description box. But the actual like code for these brushes is KZ01. That's the powder brush. So I'll be using that. And then I also purchased KZ04, which is the cheek brush. And this whole line uses this gorgeous like natural wood for the handles, and they use brown squirrel hair for the bristles. So they're so soft. I've used these brushes once or twice. The powder brush I've used twice, definitely. I think the cheek brush I've only used once before. They are so, so soft. I think they're even a little bit softer than my Silver Fox Hair Chickaholder brushes. So anyway, we're gonna be playing around with those. Oh, and some Chantecaille brow products, which are not new to the market, but they are new to me. So we'll be using those as well. So we have some interesting new stuff. So like I mentioned, I have all of my base products down. So let's go ahead and dive into powders. So we have that Dior powder, and then we have the Hourglass powder. So I am going to just take a look at this powder. Oh, it's very silky soft. And it is definitely very, very mattifying. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I'm gonna grab my Chickaholder KZ01 brush. I'm gonna dip right in. Picks up really easily. And I'm going to apply it to this side of my face, the right side of my face, and then I think we'll play around with the Hourglass powder on the other side. So I'm just going to kind of lightly pat this around my eyes. I always like to set my eyes first. I don't know why. Ooh, definitely mattifying, but not drying looking. Okay, I really like this powder. It's very, very fine, and I feel like I don't need a lot of it to actually mattify my base and to kind of like set it down. I had a pretty like moisturizing base down between the Victoria Beckham primer and this Kevyn Aucoin skin tint. These are both very kind of like emollient bases, and it really didn't take much powder to kind of like set that all down. So that's really, really nice. And I think the shade 02 is a good match. I'm just going to take a little bit more, just press it onto my nose, which is the oiliest part of my face. Wow, that is really, really nice. I like how you really don't have to use that much at all. It's very efficient. All right, I'm just going to throw on some lip balm because I'm realizing we'll be playing with liquid lipsticks, which can be very drying. The Ofra formula, I actually haven't tried in a long time, but liquid lipsticks in general are drying. That's just kind of part of the game. So I'm just gonna prep my lips with some lip balm. All right, and let's move over to the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Infinity Powder. So this Infinity Powder is like 2 ambient lighting powders and one of their ambient highlighting powders, kind of mixed all together. And I thought for sure it was going to be really, really sheeny, but when I swatch it, at least, it's really not that sheeny. It has maybe like a satin sheen to it, but it is really not even quite as glowy as like the ambient lighting powders. So I thought that was really interesting. There are definitely some fine micro glitters in here. Not really my favorite. So we are going to just kind of brush this lightly, just like the same way as the Dior. I just want to see how it works as a setting powder. So I've got my Wong large brush here. This is part of that 3 brush collection. So this is just the large one. And I'm going to, picks up quite a bit. This is a very soft powder, and just going to lightly tap that again around my eye. Just gonna pat some over here. So there's a little bit more of a sheen to it than I feel like it does in my swatch. I feel like it's leaving my skin looking pretty satiny. I don't think I like this as a setting powder. I really like my setting powders just to kind of do one thing. I've said this a gazillion times, so I'm sorry if I'm being repetitive, but if you're new here, I really like setting powders that are kind of just very straightforward. I don't like too much sheen. I don't mind, like, you know, a little bit of sheen, but I really want it to just set my makeup, and I don't want it to like necessarily add anything to my makeup. And I feel like this Hourglass is adding a little bit of radiance and all of that. I don't really want that. So I'm just gonna stop right there. We're gonna go back and use this as finishing powder, which I think will be a little bit, at least for me, my taste, I think it'll be a little bit better. So I'm gonna go back to the Dior and go back to this KZ01 brush, which is like my new favorite, and just go in and swipe. And I also see those micro glitters in the powder, and that is definitely not my favorite, especially for setting powders. I'm trying to figure out if this Dior powder has a scent. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Okay, I'm just realizing I don't have a new bronzer, but I do have the new Gucci bronzer, which I just used in my Gucci video. And so I have shade number 3, which is this shade. And I really, really love this formula. This tone is great for the summertime. It's a little bit on the warm side. I mentioned all of this in that video. The only thing I don't like about this powder is the fragrance. Yeah, it's a little bit much, and I'm just not the biggest fan of it. So let me go ahead and throw this on. I'm going to use my Sonia G Face Pro brush. Just start with a little bit. This powder does blend really easily. It's a really like just creamy kind of powder formula. Really lovely. All right, Gucci bronzer is on. It just gives my complexion like a really, really lovely, like warm glow. It's definitely not like a bronzer with a lot of like radiance to it, but it's not a flat matte. It's almost like a demi satin, I want to say. All right, now on to the NARS Orgasm X palette. Now, I got this sent to me from NARS, and I was like really, really taken by this highlighter. So I've already used this highlighter once before, and it is like stunning. It is really, really gorgeous. The other 2 products in here are 2 blushes. This is the Orgasm blush, and then this is the Orgasm X blush. I have never been a fan of the Orgasm blush. I think because it's just too light maybe on my skin. I don't know. Let me actually swatch all of these. All right, so there's the highlighter, there's Orgasm, and then there's Orgasm X. Orgasm X is definitely a peach, like bright kind of blush tone that I really enjoy, but there's a lot of, I don't know, maybe pink in the Orgasm. I can't really figure it out, but what I think is so funny is I love NARS. I love NARS products. I always have really good luck with them, but the 3 NARS products I just really don't get along with are, I think, like their cornerstones. I don't like the Orgasm blush. I don't like the Laguna bronzer, and I don't like their Radiant Creamy Concealer. And I think those are probably their 3 most popular standout products. And those are like my least favorites from them, which is, I think, pretty funny. So anyway, let's start with the Orgasm X blush. All right, I've got my Chickaholder GSN 4 brush. I'm gonna go into Orgasm X and brush that on lightly. So I'm gonna build up this blush slowly because it is so bright, and I feel like one wrong move and you're in clown territory. Ooh, that's really pretty. Wow, that's a lot of heat for the cheeks. I love it. All right, next I'm gonna grab my Wang medium brush, go into this gorgeous highlight. Oh my God, I can't wait for you guys to see this. It is just beaming. Absolutely beaming. It is such a wet, shiny, metallic. Isn't that stunning? I love how it disappears when you see me head on, and then it's like, oh, what's happening? What's happening? Oh, there she is. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Enough staring at my highlight. Okay, let's move on to eyebrows. Okay, so I have 2 products that Chantecaille sent over to me that I was really excited to try, and I don't know why I've just never tried Chantecaille brow products. Probably because I just use the Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel. I've been pretty lazy when it comes to my eyebrows. I just throw that on. But they sent over their waterproof brow definer in light taupe, which is, I think, one of those like universal shades. So we'll use this one first. It's one of those like angled pencils. And then it's got a spoolie on the other side. And then they also sent over, which I'm very excited for, their Full Brow Perfecting Gel Tint in the shade Dark. So I think this is just a brow gel. I don't think it has fibers in there. It doesn't say anything about that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But let me go ahead and kind of fill in all the patchiness in my eyebrows. Yeah, I think this light taupe will work. Let's see, actually, let me swatch that for you so you guys can see. There it is. It's a very waxy pencil. It's kind of idiot proof, which I need. So yeah, this will be really good just to kind of add in where I have a lot of patchiness, just kind of like the tail end of my eyebrows on both sides. So it's lovely. It's really lovely. I have not actually trimmed my eyebrows in a very long time. I'm just letting them grow. And my eyebrow hairs can get really, really long. And I used to just trim them up, but I realized it just made them look really kind of patchy. And I was like, you know what? Let me just grow them out and then see if they'll reach this point where they are kind of a little bit better behaved. I don't know. My eyebrows, my hair, all of my hair have like a mind of its own. They're very, very defiant. All right, that looks pretty nice. I like this light taupe. It's a very natural kind of shading. But let's see what happens when I throw in the brow gel. They have one of those teeny tiny spoolies, which I love. Looks very similar to the Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel. Oh, nice. There's probably 2 things about brow gels that I don't like. One, if they're too wet, I just feel like it's just a mess and I can't control it. And if it's too crunchy, like if it dries down and you have all of a sudden like rock hard brows, I do not like that. So far this one is not too wet, which is great. It's not too dry either. It's pretty much just right. It's like right in the middle. Oh yeah, it's not crunchy. It's more of like a pomade where I feel like my brow hairs are a little bit more moldable, but they're not like plastered in place, which is good, is a good thing. Oh, all right. My brows are looking very well behaved, which is different for them. Now on to the Orgasm X eyeshadow palettes. So we have this little 6-pan, which is just darling. Isn't that so cute? It's like the size of a business card. And then we have the Orgasm Quad, which is very light in tone. You could almost consider this the day quad. And the Orgasm X Quad, you could kind of consider the night quad. So it's a little bit deeper in tone. I really want to use this like watermelon shade. So maybe I will start with this matte shade in the Orgasm Quad and just kind of lay that down. I feel like it's a shade that's very similar to my skin tone, so we'll see if I just get a little bit of warmth added there. I'm gonna grab my BK Beauty 201 brush. This is like their blender brush. Go into that Orgasm matte shade. Oh yeah, that's nice. I just have this kind of hint of peach on my lids now. I'll bring that up towards my brow. All right, a little peachy heat there. Next, I'm gonna go into this little 6-pan guy. I'm gonna go into this like watermelon matte shade. I'm going to use a smaller blending brush. Let's see what we have. I'm gonna grab my Esom S33 brush. Use this to kind of add a little dimension to the outer corner, warm up the area a little bit here, and drag it along my lash line here. I feel like I'm having to build up this shade quite a bit. It looks so bright in the pan. So maybe it's me, maybe I'm being a little bit too timid with the application, but I feel like I'm putting down quite a few layers just to get it to this opacity. So that's pretty interesting. I don't mind shadows that you have to build up because sometimes I don't want to use an overly pigmented shade and just spend minutes and hours blending it out. I don't mind having to, build it up. I feel like that way I have a little bit more control. It's a little bit easier to work with. But I feel like this one in particular is taking a long time, a long time to build up. Ooh, I think I have to try this color in the Orgasm X Quad. There are no shade names, so just this one in the top left-hand corner. And I'm going to grab my Sonia G Builder 1 brush, since this is a metallic shade. And this brush is great. It just picks up product really easily, and then it just kind of like adheres it to your lid. It's pretty awesome. So I'm just going to kind of press all that pigment down. Get it right in the corner there. And then I'm just going to smear it over my lid. I'm just taking that S33 brush and kind of blending that all in here. And blending this side out. Oh, I like that. It's really pretty. It looks really, really airbrushed. It like blended out really nicely. Like between the matte shades and this like shimmery shade. Okay, and then in the Orgasm X, there is this one deeper shade that I'm going to use, I guess as liner. We'll see how it goes. It's like a shimmery shade, so I don't know if it's too crumbly. I've got my Esom T05 brush, and I'm just going to I just stab the pan and then like wiggle the brush a little bit because I just want the tips of the bristles to pick up shadow. And then I'm going to press it underneath my lashes and then over my lashes. I think that works out beautifully. There's enough of like a sooty black base in here. Makes like a really nice liner. All right, eyes are done. I love this like bright peachy eye look. It's so fun. It's so summery. Next, let's jump to mascara. I have this new, again, I don't know if it's actually new. I think it's just new to me. This is the Grande Cosmetics Grande Mascara. And let's see, 93% say it didn't clump. 94% saw, oh, healthier lashes. Okay. Oh, that's right. This has that amazing gold packaging. I don't think this is, oh, it's water resistant. Okay. Looks like it has a pretty traditional wand, nothing to report there, but it looks really like loaded up. So I'm just gonna scrape off some of the extra here. So far I don't see any clumps either. That is one coat, looking pretty good. Let me go in with a second coat. Wow, the second coat really makes quite the difference, although I feel like it's getting a little clumpy with this second coat. It's brushing through okay, but yeah, I'm definitely seeing some clumps there. I feel like this side is clumpier than this side, and this side I waited longer to put that second coat on, so I think I need to let that like first coat dry down just a little bit more, just like 5-10 seconds more, and then it won't be quite as clumpy. definitely lengthening, and I feel like it's held my curl, my initial like curl from my eyelash curler. I feel like it's held that really nicely. Cool. Okay, Grande mascara. Now, liquid lipsticks. I've been so excited to try these on for you guys. So these are the 3 liquid lipsticks that Jen has developed with Ofra. This light one is called Revive. This one is Refine, this middle one. And then this one is Reimagine. Now, I think this light one is too light for me, but I am going to go ahead and swatch it for you guys. But this is like a concealer lip kind of look. And again, these are meant to transform other lipsticks. Jen didn't really mean for you to just put these on straight, but I want to put these on straight because I really do like the looks of these shades in the tube. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So let me put this one. This one again is Revive. They smell like birthday cake. Okay, by itself, probably not. Probably not. But this is great if you have a dark lipstick that you want to like brighten up a little bit. I think this would be awesome to add on. So for me, this is not a good one to wear alone. Again, not the way Jen meant it to be worn. So let me take this off and then we will try the other 2, which I think are going to be much nicer alone on my complexion. All right, we're going in with Refine, which is that middle shade. I really like this applicator. Why? It doesn't seem that unique. It's just a doe foot applicator. But I feel like I have a lot of control. There is Refine. So it has a lot of a gray undertone. So I feel like if you have shades that are maybe a little bit too warm and you want to cool it down a little bit, you could add this shade. I, of course, having spent the 90s in New York City, I really love this color all on its own. It's like one of those corpse colors that I really appreciate. Ooh, this is nice. I cannot wait to whip this out in the fall. This is like a perfect fall color. Can you imagine this with like a cool eyeshadow look and like a plum kind of like cheek? Oof. Around Halloween. I think that would be great. And now we're gonna go in with Reimagine, which is the deepest shade. Oh, this is my kind of like deep brown shade. I love it. I love it already. All right, there is Reimagine on my lips. I love this color. And you know what this color reminds me of? I actually just took it out and wore it the other day. This Chanel Jumbo Longwear Lip Crayon in number 22, Natural Brown. Here's the Chanel Natural Brown. So this one is probably a little bit deeper, maybe a little bit cooler than this shade, but very similar for sure. All right, well, huge congratulations to Jen. These are so much fun, and I can't wait when I have like more time and more patience to go through my collection and see like what these can actually help with. I definitely have a couple of lipsticks in there that, you know, I don't really reach for that much because the tone maybe is a little bit off. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But anyway, big congratulations to Jen over at Jen Loves Reviews. These are really awesome. And might I add, so far, very comfortable, especially for a liquid lipstick. I'm not a fan, as you guys know. And this, I mean, it's not like I feel like I have a lip gloss on, but definitely a lot better than a lot of other liquid lipsticks that I have tried. So thumbs up to Ofra on this formula. This is really nice. Last but not least, we're gonna go back to this Hourglass Ambient Lighting Infinity Powder, and we're gonna use this as a finishing powder. I am going to take out my trusty Sonia G Face One brush. So I'm gonna pick up quite a bit of powder here, and I'm gonna stamp it right down here where I feel like I always could use a little bit more of a polish to the finish of my skin. I have some texture here and everything. So I just pat some powder down, and now I'm gonna go ahead and buff. Ooh, that's quite nice. Do you guys see that sheen that it has? I hope I'm angling my head so that you can see it. But it has this really pretty sheen. Wow, that's pretty. That is pretty. I feel like buffing it out, it really brings out the like lovely kind of like shine in this powder. Ooh, ooh, that's gorgeous. Gorgeous. So there it is with the powder, and here it is without. And it's really hard to tell with this lighting whether or not the micro glitters are still there. I have a feeling that they are still there. Probably a little bit less because the buffing action really kind of like sweeps them away sometimes. Ooh, look at that polish up. A nice burnishing. Yes. Ooh, makes your skin look like marble, huh? Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing to my forehead. I'm gonna use less because I have deep lines on my forehead and I feel like sometimes adding too much of a sheeny powder to my forehead, I don't know, just makes it more prominent, makes the lines more prominent. But you can really kind of see it on my forehead, the finish of this. And as I go back and forth with this brush, you're gonna see it just kind of like shine up. Shine up, but like smooth out too. Oh, it just looks more and more blurred the more I feel like I polish it up. And then I just use any leftover like on my cheeks, because again, this area I feel like powders can end up looking very, very thick and cakey. So I just use whatever is left over on my cheeks there. All right, well, yes, I definitely prefer this powder as a finishing powder versus a setting powder. And I really like it once I've like buffed it in like that. Oh, it just looks so smooth, so smooth. And there you have it, a goth summer look. I definitely was not going for a goth look, but man, nothing like a dark brown liquid lipstick to give you the goth look. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Please let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.